We are exactly 2 weeks out from the general election. Cyber fraud is worse than ever. So beware of calls and emails as crooks are posing as fundraisers, pollsters. They're even saying they are political candidates. And they are also launching fake voter registration drives, and officials say you need to be on the lookout. Jack Blount is a cybersecurity expert. I want to know most specifically surrounding this election. Jack, what are the most common scams right now that crooks are using to get a hold of our information?
Well, they're using the interest in the election. So there's millions of emails being sent around soliciting information from people, and it has people's cautions down because they're getting so much traffic that it all seems like it must be normal. And most of it is phishing emails where they're trying to get your confidential information, things like your social security number, so that they can use their malware to hurt you. But they'll pose as a pollster wanting to get your opinion on the vote. They'll pose as an online voting site to get you to vote. Again, these are things where you normally would put in your social security number so your alarms are down. Oh, I'm voting online right now. This is exciting because of COVID. I don't want to go out of my house. And what you find out is first thing they ask is your social security number, and you just gave it out to the world. So they're really capitalizing on human interest in the election to just sneak past all your normal defenses that says, no, I shouldn't click on this. This is fake.
How do I know if my information's been stolen? That's hard, I can imagine, for me to know. And if any of my accounts have been compromised?
Well, it is really, really hard to know. The thing I caution people most often is change your password on any vital asset you have. That's the best way to protect yourself. So your bank accounts, your credit card accounts, anything that you're used to checking online that has to do with financial matters, just go in and change your password.
How often should I be changing my password? Is it once a month? Is it every week? It's hard to remember the passwords I have now.
Well, again, if you get a password monitor, it'll do it for you. They're almost free. They're very, very cheap. And, I recommend people do that because you can't keep track of your passwords. I think that in normal conditions, once a month is often enough, and that will keep you safe. In times like this, where you have both the combination of the pandemic and you have a 4-year election cycle where you know that everybody's out there hammering you, you should do it every week.
Are these, let me ask you this, are these cyber criminals targeting everyone? And I'm sure that's a yes, but are they targeting more of one demographic in larger numbers than everyone?
Well, certainly they're targeting everyone. I would answer that in two ways. One of them might surprise you, but most cybercrime today is actually not committed by smart guys at a keyboard, which is what everybody thinks. It's actually committed by a computer with an AI algorithm that's simply crawling the internet, hammering everything it can find. And unlike people, it doesn't eat lunch, it doesn't go to the bathroom, it doesn't sleep at night. So it's coming at you much harder and more furious than you ever imagined.
Who's behind this?
Well, the Russians, the Chinese, the Iranians, maybe the U.S. mob. Again, cybercrime has become extremely sophisticated. It's not generally driven by people at a keyboard. It's coming at you all the time.
I'm wondering if they ever get caught.
Rarely. Oh my God. So rarely. They don't get caught, and when they get caught, it's almost impossible to prosecute them. This is why they make so much money off of it. This is why they're out there. $3 trillion was stolen last year alone in cybercrime. They're making lots and lots of profit. One company that the FBI did shut down in Eastern Europe 2-3 years ago, they found the company was spending $100 million in R&D. In R&D, that's because of how much money they're stealing. They had that much money to spend on R&D to get better at what you're doing.
People need to know R&D, research and development, just trying to figure out who you are.
Building their own products to better attack you. So the target market, I would say we're seeing absolutely right now is older people.
My parents, they're senior citizens. Is there some place I can go to see if their Social Security number is in one of these sites or has been obtained illegally?
No, there's really not. I'm sad to tell you there's really not. All I can do is tell you to recommend they change their passwords frequently. They turn off their computers at night, something people don't think about. But most of the malware, if you leave your computer on, it's hammering your computer all night long, researching things, stealing things, embedding things.
Is that not just my computer? Is that all my devices? So I should turn off my phone and my tablet?
Well, yes. I mean, I say turn off everything electric whenever you can. It just reduces your exposure surface. But certainly at night, they know everybody sleeps, nobody's looking at their computer, and yet the typical pattern tonight is nobody turns the computer off. So yeah, I mean, it's on the internet 24/7, they're getting in. So start learning to turn your computers off. My computer at my house is off every night. I mean, one thing you can go do is just get up in the middle of the night when you're going to the bathroom and walk over to wherever your router internet connection is and watch the lights flashing and say, wait a minute, I'm not at the keyboard doing anything. Why are all these incoming, outgoing packets flashing on my lights all night long? Yeah, that's malware hammering your system. So you can walk by your device and clearly see that you're being hammered. Turn it off. Just stop that exposure, because they hit it 10 times harder at night than they do in the daytime, because they know you're asleep and you're not going to see them.
Oh, interesting. Jack Blount, I really appreciate that. This is information that we're aware of, but I don't know that people know the specifics to really what to look for. So thank you.
Glad to help. Have a safe day.